How's it going, everybody? Give me just a second here. Having technical difficulty there for a minute, so I'm just getting on. I see we've got Tyler's here, Chris, Tammy, and it's just 12:01 I've got right now, well, Arizona time. 11 if you're out on the West Coast or 2 on the East Coast. But should have a couple more people, I'm sure, jumping on here, probably just getting on a couple minutes late. We will record this, guys, just like before. So this will be the recording from this call will be under the bonus section with recorded calls under the last ones as well. So if anybody has to get off early, or if you're watching the recording lately or after this was recorded live, then welcome. It looks like we just had Howard jump on. And so everybody's still getting on. Give me just a second, guys, and I'm going to mute everybody. Everybody will be just like last week. I'll give everybody a chance to talk, ask any questions, give us an update. But just so that we're not getting a whole bunch of background noise, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody so I can unmute one at a time. So let me do it. There we go. Oh, all right, cool. So let me get my chat box up, guys. If you guys, throughout the format of the call, if you need anything, go ahead and use the chat box if you're muted, or you can do the little hand raise option there, and I'll see, and then I can unmute you. That way you can talk, and that way we can keep the speaking floor kind of open so that like I said, there's not background or two people talking at once or whatnot. But that being said, guys, I didn't have any super key topics that I wanted to talk about before we jumped into the call. This is now the week 4 call, so everybody's by now gone through the modules. I've connected with you one-on-one. We've had a couple group calls. Hopefully everybody's live now, and we can talk about whatever's going on with your campaigns, any questions, anything for optimization, anything like that. If you are on the call right now and you have not gone live for any reason, that's okay. Just let us know, and let's definitely get you live right away. So you got leads coming in every day. So without further ado, I'm just going to kind of jump into it here, and I see we've got Tammy, so I'll let you lead us off, Tammy. Feel free to give us an update on what's going on and any questions. We'll just kind of go round robin here on this sunny Friday. Tammy, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. How's everything going with the business?
It's going all right. I've got the couple that I had going on last week have kind of I've lost touch with, so I kind of just fell off. So we'll just see what happens. But I just been running it, and I just did the where you run it again, the wide niche.
Oh, you mean piggybacked it, went back through it again?
Yeah, I just piggybacked it today, so we'll see what happens with that.
Nice. And how many did you send out today with that piggyback?
3,500, because that's how many I bought. So I think it was 3,200 once it went through all the do not calls and stuff.
Gotcha. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, keep me posted. So you said you had a couple leads that were, and then they just kind of went dark on you?
Right. Yep.
Gotcha.
I'm supposed to go see, I was supposed to get a schedule with the one guy to get an appointment to see it. And then the other one was supposed to let me call her this week and then follow up to see when I can go see that one. So it's just a matter of.
Yeah, staying on top of them. Sometimes they just get busy. And so as long as you stay at them, they'll come back around. But what I'll do sometimes too on those that go dark, when I'm trying to call them to follow up, if they haven't, if I left them one message, they haven't called me back, second message, etc., I'll kind of go into where I'll start, and I'll do the same thing on leads that came in as new leads, but then haven't necessarily, we've called them a couple times and they're not answering. What we start to do is we start to place some hope for gain. Like, hey, so excited to talk to you. It's such a perfect location, or great timing. We just sold another property, so I'm kind of in a distressed situation as a buyer where I got to buy something quick, and I could probably pay even a little bit more than normal. Stuff like that, just to try to spike them to reach back out to you. But it could be because, something that we need to push a little motivation on them, or it could just be they went out of town or they're busy and they're like, oh, I'm going to call Tammy in a couple days type of a thing. So bottom line, I'm sure as you've been in the business a while, just because they go dark, a lot of times they'll come back to life.
Yeah.
But awesome. So that one just went out then today. So keep us posted. Any other questions with anything?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Very cool. We'll keep us posted here. I'm going to jump over to Chris then. If anything else comes up, just do the hand raise option. But definitely keep me posted as how that piggyback goes. And then are you running a campaign? I know you said the wide niche list is about 3,500 and it shrank down to 32 after you put it in massive minutes. Are you running it 5 days a week, or what's your campaign schedule looking like right now?
Say that again. Am I running a what?
are you running that 3,500 every? I mean, I know that to widen its list, so I know you're not running that list every day. But are you getting that same volume out every day with other lists, or what's your campaign schedule looking like right now?
Yeah, around 2,500. I probably should be running more. One day I ran 5.
Okay, but you're consistent, staying real
Yeah.
consistent. Perfect. Yep. Awesome. We'll keep us posted. I see we just got Ramon jumped on, so awesome. Very cool. And I will jump on to, give me just a second here. The mouse is being finicky. Tyler, my man, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm awesome. How's everything going with you guys?
Oh, we're having a good week. We put 2 deals in escrow. They weren't from your program, but we just put 2 deals in escrow. We're super excited about from some other ways, but
awesome. Direct mail or what kind of marketing?
Organic SEO.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
congrats on those.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, how's the campaign's going?
It's going good. I do have a few questions. So we did launch. I think our message, from what I understand, you need to kind of a buffer at the beginning and end. The message was mumbled when people were getting it. So we went in and re-recorded it. I think I've got it solved, but we did a huge blast and a lot of people couldn't hear the message. It was weird. And
was that the first blast, or is that just one of the blasts that did that?
Oh, it was the first blast in our biggest list, but we put our phone numbers in there just to kind of test it. And people were complaining that they couldn't hear, but sure enough, we got the message too. And it kept kind of like repeating itself and never played all the way through.
Yeah. So I definitely always test it to myself before, sending it out to the big list. But yeah, I know. So you said you did get it figured out?
I think it's just from what I went into the Facebook page and somebody said, make sure you have a buffer on the front and back. How big of a buffer should you have?
Normally we just wait like a couple maybe like a hard 2 or 3 count on the beginning.
Right.
I'm not sure what's going on at the end. What you're mentioning as far as with it like repeating, that's weird. I don't know if that was just a glitch or what. That one I don't think I've ran into. So that's where it's just important to always test them before you send.
Okay.
The other thing though is I believe the way the system works where it's going to leave the message is it picks up a sound. So if somebody answers and says hello, that's going to prompt it to start, hi, this is Tyler, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Whereas if they just say answered and don't say anything, that can kind of throw it off, which is rare. Usually people are going to answer and say hello. So outside of that, but it sounds like yours was maybe a little bit of a separate issue. So I don't know. I would definitely always pause a couple seconds at the beginning. I've never had any issue at the end. And like I said, and then the repeat thing's kind of weird. But all that to say, if you put a couple second buffer on there at the front, and then, just to always test it before you send it off, as well. But it could still happen too, where a couple, you send it to yourself, everything's perfect, send the campaign out to 5,000 people, and a couple people say that. But if you're getting like a lot of people saying that and not getting leads, then, that's one thing. If you're getting leads and people saying, no, I'm not interested, and you get a couple of those, then it's probably just because it was, technical difficulty on a couple of them. But if you're getting like, again, I kind of digress there, but, mostly just that, then it probably something's off.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was, I don't know. We redid it. I think we've got it fixed. So all good there. And I do have a couple other questions.
Yeah. And before you get into that, too, the thing is you could piggyback that one too and just say, hey, my phone was acting goofy the other day. Sorry. I was calling you about blah, blah, blah. That way you can still, hit that list and not wait 3 months or whatever.
Got it. And that was kind of my next question. So the way Massive Minutes works, like if you blow through your list and you don't enable it, will it automatically start to call that list again? Do you have to enable it once it goes through your entire list?
Once it goes through the list, it'll just stop. So it'll just be at 0.
Okay. So how do you then, I got a couple questions. So in order to like really be doing this every day, your assets in the list, and you need a list of probably maybe 40, 50,000 names to be able to do this on an ongoing monthly basis to redo it every 30 days? Am I missing something on, like, how big does the list need?
Not even be a starting point. Yeah, you're just going to want to grow that database. Different markets are going to be different. You know, somebody in LA can get a really big database really quick. Somebody in a smaller market, you know, their overall database still isn't going to be very big. But
Right.
any market, yeah, it's going to be able to get to 50,000, no problem. So yes, I mean, it's definitely is a data game. And that's why, like with wide niche data, you're always going to get the best data when you can afford it. And that's what you want. But that's
Right.
where that blanket list data comes in as a filler. If you're budgeting it out or in the beginning or anything like that, you're not going to get as good of a quality of leads from the blanket data, but you're going to get but you're going to be able to do your volume and pay a lot less for the data.
Right.
So once you can convert over to wide niche data, the return on investment is going to be there to where it's a no-brainer. But again, just going back to in the beginning as you're setting it up, and from a budget perspective, that's where you want to lean on blanket data as you need to make sure you're still getting that volume.
Got it. So once you go through the list, do you have to then re-upload to do it again? How does the system know when to hit that list again? That's where I'm kind of confused, because you enable it and unable it. And
no,
then,
so you're only pausing and starting it if you're wanting to. So like once it runs through to, so if I upload say 50,000 records, right, and I want to call 2,500 today,
right.
I'm gonna have to like have it up on my computer, and I'm gonna have to watch it based on the dialing speed. And after it's called about 2,500, I'm gonna click pause, right? So if I want to set it and walk away, then I would need to take that 50,000 list and break it up into sections of whatever I was. So if I want to send 2,500 a day, I need to click 2,500 off and upload just that 2,500. Okay, and then it's going to go to zero. So now if I want to hit that list again in a month, I just got to have, you know, you can do it however you want to do it. We do it inside of our Podio, but you could put it on your calendar or whatever. Just, you know, hit this list again.
But so I'm struggling to find like where the lists live to how the system knows how to hit that list again. Because when you upload everything in, it looks.
Yeah, you're gonna have you can deal with that however you want, but there's no way massive minutes won't, like, so once you upload it, there's not a way to just tell it, you know, hey, remind me in 90 days to call this one again.
Right.
So you just want, the way we do it, we just store all of our lists inside Podio, but you could store them in Podio, Dropbox, your desktop, you know, it doesn't really matter. And then you just basically got to keep track of, like, you could do it on an Excel spreadsheet, you know, so you got all your lists in there, and then you just, you know, every time you blast it, you put that date on there, and then you can go that to make sure you're on calendar. The way we do it, we have the list uploaded in Podio. And so if we send it out today, when we hit send, we also create a task in 90 days, you know, spend 90 days blasted again. And that's how we do it.
But then you have to upload it again to hit it again, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're going to be uploading. Yeah. Every time you send a campaign, you're going to be uploading. So you're not just going to upload the list once and then it's in there forever.
Okay. That's where I was confused. So every time you hit the list, that way it doesn't start over again. Okay, I get it now. So every time you upload it again, and I've got everything in Dropbox labeled really good. And then just probably maybe an Excel spreadsheet or something to then say, hey, this date, hit this list again.
100%. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are getting calls, and we got a few good leads, and we're putting them into Podio once we get them, so we can stay on top of them and you know, do everything we need to do inside Podio, and then start to email them and correspond with them that way.
That's awesome. Yep. No, I love it.
Okay, cool. That's all I got. That clarifies some things. I was a little confused on how it all worked, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and it is super important. You know, it's good that you're on that track, because, you know, you don't want to get 3 months into it and be like, oh crap, I don't know which lists were better than others and which ones I haven't called since when. So just a little bit on the front end of you know, having that system organized, you'll definitely be happy.
Well, one other question. I'm kind of excited. So one area that we've done really well is mobile homes on land. So I've got a huge mobile home land database, and I want to skip trace that database. Where's the best place that, in your opinion, like from an expense standpoint, we want to skip trace that database? Where's the best place to send it off to?
We do all of our skip tracing through Smart Trace.
Smart Trace?
Yeah, it's the one. Just go into your members thing and go through all those modules. That's one of them that's in there. And it's got the link right to their website and stuff. I think they charge, I don't remember how much they charge, but they do it per credit. So if you buy 10,000 credits and you send over 10,000 records, they'll just charge you credits for the ones they find. So say they find 8,000, then they're going to send you back 8,000 updated records, and you'll still have 2,000 credits left. But that's who we use, whether it's a small list, a big list. They're pretty awesome. And if I get, say, 8 out of 10, for example, rather than trying to go spend more money at like CLO or LexisNexis or something for the other 2, I just hit the 8 and go get another list and go get 8 more out of that 10 or whatever, and come out with 8 more instead of 2 more for less money.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Cause we do a lot of direct marketing to that niche. So I've already got the list. I'm just going to skip trace it and then load that up and just start calling them instead of sending direct mail to them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just pulled up the website. It's for Smart Trace. It's gethomeownersnumbers.com. But it looks like, so you can buy, depending on how many credits you want, that you can get them for 29 cents a credit if you're only buying a few, or as cheap as 9 cents a credit, if you buy a whole bunch of credits. But we've used them for a long time. They're super solid. Because it comes down to, like you said, how much you're going to pay per record. There's sources out there you could get 100% of the records you upload, but they're going to give you 6 numbers per record, which a lot of those are bad. And then you're paying way more money, and it just makes everything not work good. So I really like these guys because I would rather have less numbers and more accurate ones and more of them and be able to go get more records than get a whole bunch of numbers for every record. But, if you got 6 records for a number, one of them is probably going to be right, and that means you got 5 that are bad. And it almost kind of, then to get 2,500 good calls out, you might be sending out 10,000 calls, which that's a lot of brain damage.
Cool. Okay, I'll check them out. But yeah, I'm excited about that list because I think it'll do well.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Keep us posted. Let us know how it performs.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Let me go back. Sorry, guys. My Windows here. Too many windows open on the computer. And somehow, there we go. Tony, I'm trying to unmute you. It was not working there.
No, I think I just unmuted myself.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. It was on your end. How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
Awesome.
Great. Yeah, so let's see. This week, I just continued to, I think I piggybacked one of my lists that I had. Well, first of all, I that deal that I had under contract, I've had a few offers on it. So I'm kind of going through the offers and seeing which one I'm going to ultimately accept, because I think I put it out yesterday.
Okay.
All right. As for anything new, I piggybacked the list and I got a couple more leads. A couple of them just didn't pan out, but one looks like it might be a good one, and I'm going to kind of move forward with that. I haven't really had a lot of luck with the blanket lists, but again, all of my wide niche lists have usually yielded. I like the 55, 65 equity list a lot. That one's been, I think, my most successful list so far.
I love that list. It's really big too, so it's nice. You get a lot of them, good leads and a lot of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can just keep trolling them, because if you get 10 leads out of the list this campaign in 3 months, you're going to get another 10 out of the same list just because somebody else is in the timing and circumstance.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the one that I kind of scale up on as I continue to get deals here. So, but yeah, that's so. All has been pretty good.
Good. So any questions at the moment with anything?
No, not really. No, I don't really have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think of anything, let us know. Just keep us posted. But looks like that consistency is paying off. Like you said, and I know we were just talking about this with Tyler. Wide niche data is going to pay. Everybody's goal should be to move towards wide niche data. Blanket list data is really something you want to use to subsidize to make sure that you get your volume out in the meantime, but it's definitely not a long-term solution. Volume is critical, so I'd rather get my volume and consistency out with blanket lists than just wide niche data and send it out once a week. But at the same time, you really want to work towards to where you're every day sending out wide niche data. And again, I know I've talked about this before. Once you get a quarter's worth of wide niche data to where you can hit your volume goal, every business day for a quarter, that'll carry you a year because you can hit it quarterly. So, as you buy every purchase that you make for wide niche data, is, you know, that's an actual ask. It's not like you just bought a lead. Hopefully you get something like with the broadcast minutes, or if you did direct mail, it's like now you actually have that record. So even if they're not going to be ready to sell for 2 years, you're still going to be getting them. So that's a huge asset. And really that's the most valuable asset of the whole system. Really the whole wholesale business is the contact record. Obviously the people that call in our leads, yes, we're going to follow up with those, but there's a lot more people in the raw database that are going to be future deals, you know, on the big scheme. So that's awesome.
Yep. Actually, I do have a quick question for you. Now, it's really, it really just has to do more with, you know, the conversations that I'm having. Once I'm qualifying leads, I went through the 9 steps for qualification that you sent out, which was really helpful. But I think on one part of it, I don't know if I wouldn't say I'm doing anything wrong. I actually like it a lot. So after I go through it and I ask the first time, what do they want for their house? You know, after I call them back and I'm kind of going into it and I quickly catch them off guard and say, so what do you want for it? They give me a number usually all the time, which is great. So then I go back all the way through it. And then I get the second time where I ask for what they want, which is usually less than the first. Mm-hmm. So now for me, where I'm at, I don't, to wait the 20 minutes and then send them an offer. I'm just not there yet. So I usually go on the appointment. So now I go on the appointment and I come back. How do I then just go into it and say, after I take a look at it and just give them the offer that's obviously lower than the second offer, like how do you suggest? Because that's kind of what I've been doing. And usually they'll say it's too low and we'll have a conversation about that. But
that's why I call them and just hit them with a low number right there and get right to the bottom, not waste time,
Right.
Don't go, it's always going to be a little easier in person than on the phone. But here's the thing, on the phone, I still haven't seen the house.
Right.
But ultimately, so I guess I'm not sure. So basically, is your bottom line, your question is kind of, you ask them first asking, then second asking, they come down a little bit, but now how do you offer them even less than second asking?
Correct.
And that's the whole point of making that offer, and that's why you want that offer to be low. First, in the same way that, first asking's here and then they come down, second asking, they're going to come down to third, but they're not going to come to real third until you give them an offer. People have to want to say no. So those people, we get in this thing where we're always trying to tell people what they want to hear, right? But you're going to make more deals when you let them say no sooner.
Got you.
The sooner they can say, no, that's way too low, then you can get down to brass tacks. Okay, well, let me look at the house. Maybe I'm missing something, etc. If you've already looked at the house and all that before you make your offer, now how do you make a low offer and still maybe come up a whole bunch and make it again?
Gotcha.
So the whole process, everything kind of comes together. Everything's building off of itself. So that's why I would rather fire a number before I even see the house, because if they go, no, that's way too low, I can still always go, well, let me come take a look. Let me see what I can do, knowing maybe the house is nicer, or maybe I can work them down more in person. But you'll be surprised how many times they'll go, no, I won't do that, but I need to have this. And that third asking is going to be much lower than the second asking. And now you've saved a whole bunch of time, and you can look at it and go, is that a deal? Or, in worst case, you can still now go on the appointment, but it's a huge time saving way to do it that way. Irregardless, whether you make the offer over the phone, you call them back and make the offer, or you just set the appointment and then you go make the offer in person. Irregardless, you're going to be making an offer that's lower than that second asking price.
Correct.
If you're hoping that second asking price is going to be a deal, you're going to struggle. I will tell you, a certain percentage of deals will end up being contracts at their first or second asking price, but it's a pretty small percentage. It's the exception. It's not the rule.
Not the rule.
Kind of like the easy ones. You know what I mean? But you're still going to work those the same way. You're going to make, no, that sounds high, whatever. But then you might, like I said, you're like, okay, let me do it. And then they're like, no, I'm still there. I told you it was there. And then if that's a deal, great. But on the front end, if they give you a first or second asking price that's already a deal, you better know that there's probably even more gross profit to get. It's always, like I talk about, it's conversion secrets. The easiest place to find profit for your business is on your existing deals. So if it's already a $5,000 deal on second asking price, on third asking price, that thing could be a $40,000 deal, right? But if you're just taking the 5, thinking that's the deal, not only did you just leave $35,000 on the table, you also missed all the other deals where that difference between second and third asking was the difference of it being retail or making $5,000 or 15 or whatever. So
Okay.
definitely got to get that offer out, find out where they're at. The whole goal is to get them to put their hands down and tell you what they want for the property. Then you can decide there, is that retail or is it not? You know, and if it's kind of in the middle, that's where we sink in. We try to talk to them, negotiate, go on the appointment, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
And also, do you have any experience, like, so for this particular deal, it's in a really, really nice area. The house is completely gutted on the inside, and the guy had he had wanted to like turn it from a $400,000 house, and he had approved plans from the city to maybe turn it into a $900,000 house. But what happened is that he came across a really good deal for an apartment complex, and he needs the cash now, which is why he's selling. You know, so I don't know any developers, so I don't think that those guys currently.
So here's my stance on this. Anytime you're looking at a deal going, I think it's a deal, but I don't know any developers. I don't know any rental buyers, whatever. It's probably not a deal.
Okay.
Because if it's really a deal, then even people who are not developers or who are what are still going to be like, oh, there's some money there. Does that make sense? So now,
it does.
Not always. Like there's times where, like, yes, if you actually had developers, maybe you could move the property. Whereas if you don't, maybe you couldn't. But as a general rule of thumb here, if you know, if you're going to have buyers that are looking for exactly that, you're probably working within that specific niche, not you know, wholesaling in general. So anytime you get, you know, a commercial property or anything that's kind of off base. But truthfully, if this guy recently bought, I mean, I can't tell you how often I get leads from somebody that already bought the house, thought they got a good deal, and they're like, well, I was going to fix it up and I was going to do this, that, and that. Now, if I can just get this number, I'd be happy. And I look at it and I'm like, well, if I would have got it for the number you got it for, I could give you that.
Right.
No, I'm not going to give you this number for two reasons. One, usually the number they want is more than it's worth wholesale. And two, the fact that they just bought it for that lower number is going to make it really hard for me when I go to position it to cash buyers. Every single one of them is going to see that right away. Even if the value's still there, before they see the value, they're going to see, well, what the heck? Why did it just close, you know, at this price?
Okay.
So, you know, maybe there's something there, maybe there's not, you know what I mean? But definitely you're trying to get it at a number where you're like, there's something here for sure, and then go out and try to find the buyer. If you're thinking you've got to find a very specific buyer, at that point you're kind of like becoming a realtor, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. No problem. All right. That's it for me.
Stay at it. Keep me posted on all of them, my man.
Okay.
Love it.
All right.
Let's see here. Ooh, Raphael. What? Sorry, give me just a second, guys. I don't know why the platform, it sticks on me sometimes. What? Are you unmuted?
Yep.
What's up? Ramon, how are you?
How's it going, Josh?
Hey, it's good. Sorry, I was trying to get, anyways, it was giving me all sorts of problems. I was clicking, it wasn't doing anything. How's the campaign going, my man?
It's good. I got a contract this week. Yesterday, actually.
Boom. From a CCOS?
Yeah.
Love it, my man. Tell us about it.
This woman, she was part of my back taxes list. She called me. I went over to collect the property. I locked it up, and I just I sent it out to my cash buyers list, and I also listed it on the MLS. And yeah.
I love it. Well, let us know once you find a buyer and how it turns out, man. But I'm excited to see you working the system and getting results.
Yeah, definitely. I will keep you posted.
Sounds good. Any questions right now with anything?
I did have a question. Right now last time I checked my call rail, I had about 100 incoming calls I had to check. Some of them had messages, others didn't. Now with my first paycheck, Josh, I mean, my question is, should I consider hiring an acquisition manager, or should I go ahead and increase the amount of minutes or increase the amount of phone calls that goes out, or should I consider doing?
Yeah, you're working a full-time job right now?
I'm a realtor, yeah.
I mean, you're working.
This is pretty me. This is pretty much what I do full time.
Okay, so you're trying to decide between hiring someone or using that money for what?
increasing the amount of minutes that goes out, or the amount of phone calls that go out.
How many leads are you bringing in right now a day?
Like
all sources.
about 7 leads a day.
Okay, of those, how many are cold call are from this system?
About 5.
Okay. So you're pretty much all CCOS, and you're running how many calls a day right now?
It's 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10. It's
Now, how
about
many?
1,000 phone calls a day.
Wow, so you're getting really good results. Getting 5 leads a day on average from 1,000 calls is very impressive.
Yeah.
How many deals are you closing right now a week?
None.
None.
How many deals am I closing a week?
How many are you closing per week?
None.
Okay, no hiring, no hiring.
Okay.
You can't. It's going to be hard for you to train them. You know what I mean? You could train them how to generate leads because you've got that down now. But until you start, you know what I mean, converting a whole bunch of them, you're not going to know how to convert him. And you can use the conversion secret stuff to really good at that process and then teach them that process. But I would say right now, if you had to hire them right now, you're digging into your own pocket to pay them as opposed to letting the business pay them. So I would get a couple deals closed and then look at that money and say, okay, could I do more with it, with somebody else helping me generate more leads? And then I would do that. But no, right now, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. Definitely any money is going to be going towards more minutes and lists and stuff. And bottom line, marketing. But right now, and now, how long have you been bringing in that volume of leads? Just since you started CCOS, pretty much.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
So what I would keep doing that. Let's see where you're at in a month. How many deals you're writing? If you've written 4 or 5 deals, you've got contracts closing now in disposition. I mean, I might be like, yes, now that you have the key, you can do even more leads by turning it up. Go out and hire somebody, right? But if you're there and you're like, you've closed 1 deal, 2 deals, and you're kind of whatever, I might say like, no, let's just keep doing what you did, growing that until you're ready to, you know what I mean? But no, I definitely don't see any need to hire for you right now. I would keep doing what you're doing, stay consistent, get better and better at conversion every day. And if you've got enough time in your day to have more leads coming in, then increase your volume. But just like everybody, as you increase your volume, watch your conversion. The natural thing is for that to fall.
Okay, got it. So I should close a few deals before I consider hiring an acquisition manager. Some kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're going to want somebody good, not just somebody who's just trying to fill a job and take up space and get make a minimum wage type thing. And so you want to be able to pay up for that. So for right now, yeah, I don't see any benefit to you hiring. It's probably just going to cause more stress and frustration for you. Just because there's not really a need for it yet.
Yeah, I did get a VA to qualify the calls that come in though. I have VA.
I'd be very leery of doing that as well right now. Extremely.
What was that?
I'd be extremely leery of doing that as well, because how you qualify it, you're setting up the offer and the close. Everything's kind of together, like we're talking about with Tony. So
no, yeah, I mean not qualify the leads, but qualify the phone calls to add to my calendar for me to call.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you don't have to listen to all the do not calls.
Yeah, exactly. So I did go ahead and get someone to do that, and he's going through like 80 phone calls a day, something anywhere from.
They're making phone calls?
50 to 80 phone calls a day.
That's how many are coming in, or that's how many they're making? Oh, it muted you. There we go. Are you there, Ramon?
Sorry about that, Josh. What was that?
Oh, you're good. The system just tweaked out for a sec. I said, did you say your VA is making 100 calls a day, or he's going through?
No. He's going through 100 calls.
Oh, yeah. No, that's perfect. And I'm glad to hear you're doing that. Everybody else on the call, that's what you want to do, is have somebody else, ideally a VA or someone, do that, because it can be brain damage listening to all that and taking up that time. You just want to come in and hear the 5 leads, not the 100 other.
Exactly.
So cool.
Exactly.
Anything else right now?
No, I think that's it for right now.
Well, I'm excited for you, man. I mean, you're already getting results, taking action. And the fact that you're already talking about hiring, I don't think you need to go out there and do that right now. I don't think you should. But the fact that you're looking at that fearlessly is exciting, because that's coming real with you. You're pumping 5 to 7 leads a day. you do that consistently, and you're going to need help real soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait till I grow the business and start bringing more people onto the team.
100%. Well, you're on your way. I mean, as long as you got the leads coming in there, it's just getting better and better at the leads. But without the lead, it doesn't matter how good you are at conversion or you know what I mean. So perfect, man. You're on the right track.
Awesome.
Boom. All right. Joseph, I was trying to unmute you. I think it might be on your end. You might be muted. There we go.
Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, how are you?
Are you here or no?
Are you there?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it loud enough, or I need to switch to a different microphone?
Gotcha. I can hear I can hear your voice. I just can't really understand you. It sounds like you're in a tunnel.
How about that? Is that better or no?
A little bit better.
Well, get with somebody else, and then I'm going to switch to a different mic. Am I the last one or what?
I'm having a hard time making it out.
Just go to the next person, and then I'm gonna switch to a different microphone.
Okay, perfect. Ironically, I kind of heard that, but that sounds good. I'll do that. Perfect. Howard, how are you?
Good. What's going on, Josh? How are you?
Living the dream.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been running about 2 weeks now. I ran like 35,000 records and gotten like 219 callbacks. My problem was that I wasn't counting the leads the right way. I was just going back through them, got about 20. And the reason why is because in case like they wanted $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't counting them as a lead. I was just like, yeah, okay. And, I was just putting them aside. Yeah, I'll go through it. I'll check the market. But I never actually took the time and tried to pitch them. And just yesterday, I actually went through your videos again on one of the bonuses and heard what you said that, obviously everybody's going to want $1 million if they don't know. But, I mean, we're leaving money on the table. We don't actually try to make them an offer and try to make that a deal. So what I got to try to do now is be able to pitch them, try to make them an offer and see if I could make a deal out of them. It's just I'm having the problem. How do I go about that?
Conversion secrets. You just follow that process.
Right. So
they want $1 million. My first question. Hey, got your message. Is the house worth $1 million?
Oh no, I still called them.
Okay, well, I was kind of confused if you were, you know what I mean? But if they're like, yeah, then underwrite it and just go right through the thing.
No. I still go call them and get the application and go through all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Oh
well, my neighbor. Yeah, I still go through it. Oh well, my neighbor's selling it for $270, but mine's nicer, so I'll probably get like $400,000.
Yep.
Still ask them all the questions. Ask them at the bottom. Okay, how's the flooring? How's the roof? Oh, it's great. It's beautiful. It has this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're telling me like their house is like nicer.
Their house. You're getting retail flags all over the place. We in the full conversion secrets, I talk all about that stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend any of you guys that haven't gone through the full conversion secrets, you definitely going to want that. I mean, it will help you a lot, especially if you're newer. But yeah, you're going to then educate them. So you go through all that stuff. Somebody like that, they're just giving you mad retail flags. So I'm pulling away from them, letting them know, yeah, it sounds like you might want to talk to a realtor, you might want to list it, that kind of stuff. And if they're telling me like things like, well, no, what would you give me, right? Then they're kind of coming back to me. If they're like, yeah, that's all right, I'm still curious what you'd offer, they're kind of coming back to me. But if they're like, yeah, that's probably what I'll do, or yeah, I wasn't really looking to sell anyways, you called me and mine's a little nicer than my others, or whatever, then they just kind of confirm their retail.
Okay. So do I even bother like trying to like tell them, okay, let me check the market and call you back in 20 minutes? Obviously,
they're telling you that the houses are going for 380 or 280 and they want 400. So some of it, I mean, you got to kind of read between the line, and experience will help you a lot. But yeah, you're going to be, and that's why it's in the full conversion secrets. If they're a long ways away, then yeah, you're not really going to do all that. Or you might say like, look, we're a long ways away, and you could do what we call fish them up, and you could say, let me take a look and see where I'm at. and you might kind of call them back. But you know, that the qualification, all those questions are going to kind of tell you what you've got. If you've got something that told you, and the bigger bottom line with like the example we're talking about, what it really comes down to with that lead, why are they selling? The person that wants 400 because theirs is nicer than the neighbor's house, like why were they calling you back, or why are they selling?
Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
know,
I asked them, you know, they say that they're looking to downsize, you know.
right. So that's a retail reason.
So yeah, I mean, they're
No
looking to
one's
down.
like, well, I want to downsize, so I need to move tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's like they want to downsize, or you know, or when are you moving? Not sure. You know, where to? Not sure. It's
Yeah, so
retail.
there's some other things you could confirm. We can fish them up to confirm, etc. But that lead right there, you're describing, that one's retail. Now, without knowing why they're selling and what their situation is, etc., if all I know is they want 400, comps are at 275, I have no idea if it's a deal or not. Because like you're saying in the beginning, on the front end, yeah, they want $1 million. Like, okay, whatever, everyone says that. They're not going to show us their cards. You know what I mean? But after we've kind of gone through that whole thing, we know why they're selling it, etc. If they still want 400 and we're not hearing anything that leads us to believe, no, they probably take a lot less, then we just know they're retail. You can still tell them, like, I wouldn't be anything close to 400. If they're like, okay, sounds good, thanks, bye. Well, I doubt they're letting you get off the phone if they really would have took 200 and they're just not telling you. You know what I mean?
Right. So I got that from your video, right? Obviously, try to get the no from them first, you know, to feel them out, see if they pull me back in. So I told them right towards the end, I'm like, well, look, 400,000 is a stretch. I mean, you're asking over 100 grand more than what your neighbor's selling the property for. That's going to be tough for me to be able to get you.
Right.
And then like, oh, well, yeah, if that's not going to be close to that, then I don't know. So then it's like she didn't even pull me back, so I shouldn't even waste my time.
You're done. You're like, okay, well, that sounds good. Like, you know, best of luck for you. It sounds like, you know, I might have a realtor that could, and you could do whatever you want, but you're
Just move on. Gotcha.
Now, you still might call her in 3 months as a long-term follow-up, right? Hey, this is how we talked a few months ago. I know you were interested in selling. It didn't sound like the timing was right. Just curious if you're getting a little closer. Well, yeah, we were just talking yesterday about listing it. Great. You know, now re-qualify them. If they're still at 400, now they're actually ready to sell, but they're still retail. But if they're actually ready to sell now, they could be talking totally different numbers. Circumstance will totally change somebody's tune. You could have somebody that's like, never call me again unless I get $1 million. And in 6 months, you know, they get your message and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, like XYZ just happened. I want to sell it. So timing and circumstance is like the whole name of the game. We've had people back with our phone. We're extremely diligent about the do not call. If somebody asks us, don't call us again, we put them on do not call. Because if you keep calling the people that tell you not to call them, that's where you're going to run into issues. With mail, though, back in the day, we weren't as good. Like, people would call us like, hey, take us off your mail list. We'd be like, yeah, okay. And we wouldn't do it because we'd be like, whatever, we don't even know when we're going to mail them again. Like, it just wasn't worth the time always to go find their record and delete it. And it's mail anyways. It's not like there's a do not mail list. But I remember a time we had a record. Somebody had asked to be put on our do not call list. We had put that in Podio. And then later, from rebroadcasting that list again, we actually ended up getting it. That same person had called back in as a lead, and we ended up doing a deal. So, yeah, timing and circumstances, everything.
Got it.
Well, cool. Any other questions right now?
No, that's about it.
I love it. Well, yeah, just stay consistent with those leads, and that's naturally going to help you get better and better at conversion, because you're going to be talking to those leads every single day and just getting better and better at what to say when they say this and what to do, and you know, all that good stuff.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
I love it. My pleasure. Hey. Is this Brittany?
Oh. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, is this Brittany?
Yes, this is me. It's a little loud. I'm having lunch with my hubby, and we're talking.
Oh, nice. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm good. If you just wanted to listen because you're doing lunch, that's totally fine as well. But you've got the floor if you want to ask any questions or give us any updates.
Everyone's done such a great job of asking questions. They really knocked mine out. So right now, what we're doing is we're just going through the leads that we got, and you know, working on getting a contract. I did go look at a property yesterday. Turns out she had 2 properties. She was a bit unreasonable on her price because the house needed a lot of work. And I reached out to another wholesaler in the area, and they told me, I already been there with her. We've been working on it for 6 months. So we're going to do a good cop, bad cop, and try to nail her down and and cash out on that one. But that's pretty much what we're doing, is just going through the leads and just pulling money out of thin air.
I love it. I love it. Well, keep us posted. Keep at it. That sounds super exciting.
Yes, it's we're grateful. It's definitely we've got a ton of leads. I've not had to do anything, so it's just a matter of catching up. And we're going to be looking at getting probably a blanket list so that we can have more numbers, because we're out of numbers, and I hadn't really ran the marketing like you tell us to, just because we didn't have numbers for it. But I'm gonna get that submitted today for sure.
Nice. Yeah, that'll definitely help just infill it. And then yeah, but cool. Keep doing your thing. I love it. Sounds awesome. And any questions or anything you run into, just let us know.
I will definitely do that. I'm excited.
Me too. That's awesome. Whoops, I cut off her whoop whoop, but amazing. Chris, my man.
Josh, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I've actually been away, and then I was sick a couple of days, so I don't have any questions.
I think me and you were emailing. You were on family vacation, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was good. I had a nice time with the kids, and it was nice to see some leads dripping in after the fact. So
yeah,
we did have a couple leads come.
I love the trickle. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to see it. So I gotta get started back up again. Just getting settled back in and getting over flu. So it should be good. Everything's been good.
Very cool, man. Well, good to hear. I'm glad you had some good family time. I'm just getting over a little head thing myself. You guys can probably hear it. So sorry to hear that you got sick at the end of the vacay or after the vacay, but glad to hear that you got that going on. And that's an exciting thing to get back into, when you know that leads are there and you can turn them on right now and have more coming in the same day.
Absolutely.
So cool, man. Anything at the moment you need any help with? Or I know you said you're kind of diving back in, so we'll stay, posted, but anything at the moment, you have any questions?
No, not really. I think, the only thing that sort of has, if anything's been on my mind, is I do get some occasional, like, shady callers who are like, who's this? What is this all about? And, I don't know what to do with those ones.
What
I just feel like
those ones are, it kind of depends. If the voicemails are saying something like that and they're just confused, they don't even know what, that's just nothing. So we just delete them, because if they might have been a lead, we're still going to hit it in 3 months or less. And if they're not a lead, then it wouldn't matter, right? And they're not saying, take me off your list. Now, if they're saying like, hey, why are you calling me, etc. But so if they're calling you saying like, hey, you called me about my house, I'm a little confused how you got my number or what this is about, something like that, but they're referencing the house. Yeah. We're going to treat as a lead, and we're going to contact them, because it's probably just that they're like, people are confused. Like, they're like, how did this person know I'm selling? Like, if you put yourself in the situation of somebody who's like, last night you and your wife were talking about like, hey, we need to put the house up for sale, and then tomorrow you get a broadcast, whether you don't know it's a broadcast or you do, depending on if you answer it live or it went to your voicemail, but you get a message from some guy named Josh that says, hey, I want to buy your house. You're like, that's kind of weird, right? Yeah. Josh back, and you're like, hey, Josh, might be interested in talking about my house. Like, how'd you get my info? You know what I mean? So a lot of times that info. Now, once you're on the phone, what it's going to come down to is, do they keep asking those questions? Or when you tell them, I'm a local real estate investor, I just sold a house, freed up some cash, and I want to buy one in your neighborhood. If they're a real seller and you tell them that, they're going to be, oh, okay, sounds good. And then you're like, what do you need to know? Or can you pay me XYZ price, right? But if you tell them that and they're like, well, where'd you get my information? And you're like, well, I bought it from a list of public data online. Well, and they keep at that. Like, then you ask, like, hey, I won't call you again. No worries. But do you actually have interest in selling your house right now? And then if they're like, yes, right. So your point, you're either going to get them off, or if they're just going to keep going down that road, you just let them know, hey, sorry, I won't bug you again. I had a whole list of homeowners in the neighborhood, but I'll know you're not interested right now.
That's super helpful. Yeah, because I've just had a couple of those kinds of calls, and like, I want to call them back, but that's good to know how to handle it on the call. So perfect. If
I had to guess too, I'd say like probably 80% of the people that say like, hey, I'm kind of confused or whatever, that mention the house are just trying to make sure that it's a legit thing, and they're going to be like business as usual once you let them know, hey, it's just, must have been meant to be that I called you today. I just pulled a list. That's going to be
okay, cool.
Another 20%. They might be jackrods, so you can delete those. But my point being, most of them probably are real leads. So just kind of understanding from their perspective. And then if it's not, if they keep fighting you on that, then you're like, then it's kind of a red flag. They're probably that 20%. And you just let them know, okay, sorry, hey, I won't call you again. you're not interested, no worries.
And so if I do have a number like that, I think there you have in the video a way to upload that particular number so that it's on my own specific company do not call list. Is that right? So I can just rewatch that video again. So if I find a number I never want to call back again.
Yeah,
you just throw that up into the system.
Yeah, and then the system will recognize it. So even if it gets uploaded on another list later, it still
will. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's all I had.
Boom. We'll stay at it. Keep us posted, my man. I love it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah. So let's see. We got Howard, Brittany, Christopher, Tammy. What? Joe.
You hear me? Is it better?
I hear you. How are you?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good. That's way better. I can hear you crystal clear now.
Yeah, I'm using my cell phone. Before I was using my my laptop with a microphone. So.
Oh, gotcha. So how's everything going, man?
Everything is good. 30,000 blasted this week. I've been going to about an appointment a day. Everybody's kind of asking something a little bit too much, but I got a good lead for tomorrow.
I love it, man. And that's just where, when you know the timing and situation are there and they just want too much, that's where, a lot of times it's just educating them, making sure they understand all the differences. There's a lot of people out there, you might be at 120 and they think it's worth 150, and they simply don't know that if they sold it for 150 in the retail, they're actually going to walk away with 120. But that doesn't mean necessarily they're going to believe you right away when you tell them that too. So that's all that conversion stuff. But and at those numbers, you're going on an appointment a day, running that kind of volume. I mean, you're definitely going to have deals in there. So definitely keep us posted, man. That's huge action. I love it.
So my main question is just basically on the do not call list. And whenever you set up the massive minutes, you know how it says, would you like to remove duplicates and numbers and randomize the list? Do you put yes to that or no?
Yeah, we do. Because we don't want to hit duplicates. Correct.
Gotcha. Because whenever I purchased like the 100K minutes, I got about roughly around 6,000 duplicates, and I was getting a lot of calls of like people like, some were yelling, and there's some people that are like, hey, this is illegal. I'm gonna sue you. Do you have something that you would say to diffuse that? I mean, I diffuse pretty much everything, but I just wanted to know your take on it.
Yeah, I mean, for most of those, we're not actually calling them back. We're just going to put their number on the do not call list, and that's pretty much that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did I understand your question right, or did I still miss part of it?
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, what would you say to those people, right? So I was just saying if you had something to say to them.
30,000 a week. I mean, that's an insane load of call. Even if you literally physically cold called 30,000 people in a week, if that was physically possible, you'd get told to go to hell a lot of times, right? I mean, most people make 100 calls and you feel like taking a beating, and that's when you're live. So 30,000 calls, even if you actually made them live, you're probably still going to get that same beating. So yeah, it really just comes down to if they're saying on the voicemail, they're on the do not call list, we're not going to call them again. That's it. But if you're getting all do not calls and no leads, then it's a matter of, going back and probably recording your message. It's probably a copy issue, but it sounds like you're getting a good amount of leads. So do you know right now, like you sent 30,000 in a week, how many leads did you get out of that 30,000 calls?
So I would say, out of all of it, if I were to just kind of, maybe like around 10.
10. So you're running about 1 per 3,000. So right now I would say you've got a voicemail problem. Now you're overcompensating it because you're doing enough volume that you're still getting leads. So you could still have massive success, but you really want to try to get that down under 2,000. So if you could get it down
so you're saying 1 per 3,000 kind of thing?
Right now you're at 1 per 3,000, but you really want to be at 1 per 2,000 or better.
Okay, so I'm not.
And instead of 10 leads out of 30,000 calls, you'd be at 15 leads or more.
So I'm not, as far as lead wise, people that are calling me, like I'm getting tons of calls, right? So the 15 is the 10 is the lead. Is what I'm actually going to, because the people are sometimes like calling me, I'll talk to them on the phone, and I know that they're not even, they're like, hey, they're wanting too much. They're wanting retail.
Okay, so those are still leads. So that's that number. So if that number's more.
Oh yeah, so we're looking at like 2025 then. If that's
then that's really good. I mean, because now you're almost at 1 per 1,000, so you're maybe 1 in 1,200 or something. That's really good. So you're good there. So I mean, a lot of it is just in that kind of volume, you're just going to have a lot of those, but you're going to that's why it is important. Just don't call those people again, because if you call them again, they're going to be really upset. You know what I mean? But,
So that being said, this is kind of like my thing right now, right? I'm trying to figure out, systemize everything, put systems in place. As far as the do not call list, like how do you have it set up? Do you have just like an Excel sheet and just like copy paste on the Excel sheet and upload it on Massive Minutes kind of thing? Is that what you're doing, or?
Two ways you can do it. You can do it like that way and then upload the whole thing, or you can individually do them one at a time. We have a full-time VA that does all of our call qualifying and updates all that. And I don't honestly know which way he does it, but I know he does it and he's done it, correctly for a long time. But you can do it. It has an option to upload a whole list or do them one at a time.
So do you actually give this VA access to massiveminutes.net and then give him access to the call rail or the Ring Central?
Yeah, he has access to, he's like a full-time, he's like an employee. He's just not in the office, but everything he does, we don't really need him in the office because everything he does is pretty much the same thing constantly. So we don't even, you know what I mean?
Okay. I wasn't sure if I need to give them access to this, so that's why I didn't go that route. But okay.
Yeah, he has our Ring Central, so he goes and listens to everything in Ring Central. Then he has Podio, so if it's a lead, he can pop it into Podio, and then he has Massive Minutes for that. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's it, man. Like I didn't know you could do that. So.
Yeah, no. Well, stay at it, man, and keep us posted. Any questions? Because you're definitely gonna have massive success with the action you're taking for sure. I mean, you're already got an appointment today, so you're right there.
Okay, awesome.
I love it. All right, so let me see here. See if we've missed anybody. We got Howard, Brittany, Christopher, Tammy, Tony, Ramon. Oh, Tyler had something. Can we come back? I think we've got everybody too, so that's perfect timing. Tyler, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, how's it going? You said you had a question.
Yeah, one other question. Something we really haven't even looked at is CallFire. Should we be logging in there? We've just been sending stuff out and dealing with what comes in, and then we have Ring Central. Do we need to be paying attention to CallFire?
The only really important thing to check on CallFire is a couple of things. One, just making sure obviously all your incoming lines are live, which is pretty much a given. But it's basically just making sure you have enough credits. So you don't use very many CallFire credits because those are only getting used when people call you back, and usually each call is maybe going to be a minute,
right?
Maybe 100 minutes a day if you're doing like a ton. So those will last you a while, and that's pretty much it. Everything should be going to Ring Central. So I would say two things to keep tabs on with CallFire. One, always make sure you have enough minutes, which you could probably log in once a week. And as long as you've got enough that is going to last you for the week, then you're good. And then the second thing would just be, maybe once a week or whatever, just checking your overall systems, making sure everything's, seems to be working properly to where everybody's calling the CallFire numbers routing to Ring Central the way they're supposed to. But we don't normally run into any issues with that. So there's no particular thing that I could say you want to constantly check it because this thing falls off a lot. So pretty much you should just be checking it. It should always be running perfectly. You don't have to do anything, but once in a while, maybe just making sure you're not missing anything is all just, your routine systems check.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Ring Central, we're just everything off of that platform. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything. So that's it.
The biggest one would just be to make sure you didn't run out of minutes. Because if you're making calls all day and all of a sudden one day you're like, well, that's weird. Why is nobody calling us back? And then you realize you didn't have any CallFire credits. So they are calling you back. It's just not going to your voicemail. That would be the only bummer. But those aren't going through that fast. So that, as long as you keep tabs on that, you'll be fine.
Got it. Okay. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure. Well, keep us posted too, Tyler, like we were talking about earlier. Guys, I'm super excited. Everybody on here. I think everybody's talked now. It seems like everybody's a go. Everybody's live. Everybody's, getting calls, leads, or deals, depending on where you're at, how much action you've taken, etc. So keep me posted, guys. That should be how it goes. I mean, at any point, whether it's in a month or 6 months, hey, how's it going? Hopefully it's, oh my gosh, it's amazing. If it's not, that probably means the consistency is not there. There's some issue, right? So if you find yourself ever having an issue, reach out to me and let me know. Facebook group, etc. whatever it is, we've been doing this, guys, for years. So there's nothing that can't be solved. Just like we're talking about today, you know, I'll know, okay, well, what's these KPIs, and kind of read between the thing. Is it a copy problem? Is it a list problem? Is it a conversion problem, etc.? Bottom line, guys, if you have leads coming in and you're not converting them, it's a conversion problem 100% of the time. And conversion is something you're always going to get better and better and better at, right? Like, you know, a year from now, you'll be better than you are today. In 10 years, you'll be that much better, etc. But talking to leads every single day is the quickest way to get better and better at that. So if ever you're not getting the leads coming in, that's always a simple fix. The conversion stuff sometimes is more, not always as simple. So, or sometimes even it's really simple as well, but not easy, because, you know, people skills and all these other things do come into play in conversion, which is why I would recommend, like I was saying earlier, if anybody hasn't been through Conversion Secrets, definitely I would recommend to jump into that and check out an intensive where we go extensive on that stuff. But it sounds like everybody's pretty much a go live with this system, getting leads. So I love it. As I'm wrapping up real quick right here, does anybody else have any other last minute questions? Or I don't think I missed anybody. If I missed anybody or anybody has a question, guys, just go ahead and type into the comments there, or do the little hand raise option. You don't even need to type in the whole question. Just type in gibberish and hit a period in the comments, and I'll unmute you. So if anybody has any questions, if not, I'll give it another 5 or 10 seconds here. My computer just notified me that my mouse is about to die. So it might be good timing. So I'll plug this one in here in a minute. Cool. I don't see anything. So I appreciate you guys all. I've got a file right now, a hot file, big deal. I missed a couple phone calls also. I'm excited to make that phone call and get the update here in a minute. Looks like there's no questions. So cool. Appreciate you guys. Peace, love, and real estate. Campaigns every single day, and crush it. Peace.